Welcome to Texas 10. I'm Melissa.
I'm wannabe a star Steve.
God, it's so corny. But we are here today with our Texas Troubadours. I know I live with this, Zach. I live with it. I mean, God bless me.
Right.
So we are here with our Texas Troubadours series because we love all things Texas music. And we have three great guys here. I'm going to see if I get this right. We have Matt Briggs.
Matthew Briggs?
Matthew. I got that wrong. See, I still mess it up.
My mom told me since I was a kid, you better say Matthew.
Okay.
It's not Matt.
Okay.
All right.
So it's Matthew Briggs.
The Gospel of Matthew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got Zack Walther and we've got Randy Lenard. And you guys are partners in Beagles Nest Records. We talk so often to musicians, but it's really behind the scenes that gets all of these songs made. And so we're going to learn a little bit about music production today.
Excellent. And about Beagles Nest. So, Randy, set where Beagles Nest is.
Okay. Beagles Nest is in New Braunfels, Texas, right downtown. Matthew Briggs and Zack Walther have been basically recording folks for quite some time. And then Matt asked me to be a part of it in the business side of it and help these two artists get it going. And so I was like, I don't think I really want to do this because I'm busy with other things. And then Matt just was like, nope, it has to happen. And so I was like, he's a good friend. So I was like, yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Matt, you were talking a little bit about the structure itself. What structure is it in now?
We are in an old mechanic shop, and the neat thing about it was they had these big open bays, like you could bring an RV in and then jack it up to the ceiling, you know. But
so
it
is big.
Yeah, it's a big open room. That's what Zach talks about. You know, we have a mixing console room where the board's at that we talk, and then we have a cutting room, which is on the other side of the glass, and we can set mics back into the room where you get this really, really big room sound, which we love. You know, a lot of people like to use what we call in the box, the digital effects. That's kind of where we are. But if you can get a room that sounds pretty good and put a mic in it, then that's kind of your signature sound. I'm trying to go for that.
If it sounds good on a microphone without anything, then you're doing a good job because you don't have, if you don't have to do anything post production, it makes the mixing a lot easier and that sort of thing. And you know, and not to mention that's how people have cut records for decades.
Right.
And you know, it was everybody in one big room, and you get this big room sound, and that natural reverb resonance is what's coveted in most recording studios. And we lucked out and have big tall ceilings. And
So how did you stumble on this place? What happened to allow you to do this?
You know, the first studio that Zach and I had was in an RV down by the river.
Chris Farley,
Forgot about that
in a van down by the river.
riverside.
So, you know, you could go get catfish at Clear Springs Restaurant, and you could stumble into our recording studio. It was about like this.
Yeah.
So that's kind of hard to put a band in.
Well,
I'm going to say.
The coolest thing we ever did was we had an upright bass player play. And he was like in the bathroom and the living room and the kitchen all at one time.
He's
I actually
everywhere,
want to
man.
know what song that is because I would like to listen to it. Okay, well, I'm going to ask.
Well, wait a minute. How did we get to the
I'm
current
sorry.
location?
So then I got married and I couldn't convince her to stay in the RV with me, so we moved into her house. And then we were tracking in the bathroom there and the garage.
So you married up.
Married up, big time.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
And then, me and my wife were talking one day, Robin, and I was like, man, I would really like to build a studio or get a school going or do something. She's like, well, just do it. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, you can do it. I was like, I'm a musician. I can't go do that. You know, she's like, well, I'm a nurse, so I got credit. I was like, well, let's go do it.
Man, you did marry
did
up.
marry
You
up.
did
Married
marry
up.
up,
Like,
right.
Smart. I'm sure Robin's beautiful,
Oh, she's-
and she obviously loves you because
Yes.
she'll let you take the risk.
That's right. So we moved down there and you know, we're looking at all these properties. New Braunfels is very sought after. So as soon as a property goes on the market, everybody's jumping on it. You know, so there's this one property that we walked, you know, it's like when we walked up, the real estate agent was like, wait till you see the backyard. So we went through the house.
Wait till you see the pool.
I was like, boring. So we go all the way back and we open the back doors and here's this structure that someone built in their, you know, for a shop. And we're just like, that's the studio. It's going to happen. So we taught lessons in it to kind of fund it for a while. And then that's where Zach and I were recording lots of Zack records there and friends. Wade came through and has recorded there a couple times.
that's
Waco's
cool.
Waco's kid here.
Yes.
And then one day we reached out to Randy, and now we're fully functioning.
Okay. So what is the I'm sorry, I keep asking.
Well,
questions.
I still, yeah,
Okay.
it kind of happens that way. So I want to know how you came up with the Beagles Nest Records.
Well,
the Beagle?
so when we first started the thing, me and my wife were really trying hard to have babies. So we went through some fertility problems and all the in vitro stuff, and they're like, you guys need to start nesting. And we had a beagle. So we started by saying, well, we're nesting and we have our favorite beagles, our baby, so we're going to call it Beagles Nest, and this is where we come to be a family.
All right.
I love that. That's not anywhere
No.
near what I thought I was going to. So that's where you come.
And
to be a
people knock on the
family.
door all
I
the
love
time.
it.
They come knocking on the door and they're like, I'm here to purchase a beagle. They're like, we don't
Well,
sell dogs.
You're going to be disappointed.
Right.
All right, now what's your question?
All right. So, what is the competitive sort of landscape for doing what you guys do in the recording space? Like, are there 1,000 of these places in Texas, or 5, or how does that work?
There's definitely more studios now than there probably ever has been, but within our music scene, I would say within the New Braunfels area and surrounding areas, there's not that many, but I think we remain competitive with pricing, but we also offer something different, which is the Matt and Zach combo of, we're going to be your band, we're going to produce you, as opposed to hiring out bands or musicians, or bringing, and you can bring we would love for you to bring your band and that sort of thing, but we offer this as sort of for those solo artists that are just maybe just getting started, or have been doing it for a long time and don't have them.
Those are some lucky little artists, because you guys are really great seasoned musicians.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I can. What are you doing this weekend? I'm going to go record with the Zack Walther band.
And it's there is a difference between a musician and a studio musician, because that's why, in Nashville, those are probably some of the best musicians
Right.
around, because the ones that are on every record, and they've been doing it, is because they're the best at doing it on when the pressure is on.
Right.
And we've been fortunate to be recording together, recording each other over the last 15 or 20 years or so, and 30 years. But it's one of those things that we have sort of a marriage in not only in business but also in friendship and in language of recording and things like that. So it's a
So when you were, I've noticed that, I mean, obviously technology has become such a big part of the music scene, and we've talked to some other people where, the artist will come in alone, and then they will have someone that's in another city record a track and send it, and they don't do it all together like in the old days where you had a session. So how do y'all prefer to produce, and do you do more sessions with the whole band, or do you do more of taking each piece and then mixing it?
Yeah, the multi-tracking is something that we use to our
That's the
advantage,
term,
right?
yeah.
So, Zach will go into the tracking or the cutting room, and then just sit there with someone with a metronome, beep beep, and to go through the song, and that's our roadmap. And then I'll go cut drums, then I'll go cut bass, keyboards, guitars, and just layer, and go. But we have had the honor lately of 2 Tons of Steel came in and cut track.
Oh wow.
So that's also some magic, is having 6 people laid out through the studio all tracking at the same time. That's the magic of having the band.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
ideally that's what.
Yeah.
So when you have a situation like that, does it matter where in the room you place people?
Yes, I mean you have your areas where the sound's going to pick up just right, right? So, for instance, like if I have a guitar cab, it's going to be super loud. We're going to shove that back in an isolation booth where no one else has to hear it, but they can get it in their headphones. So everybody's listening to it like they're in the room with it. But we want to have the drums, in the room with them. The bass players used to play with them every night, so the bass player is going to be off to his left, and they're going to have that vibe of playing it like they do on stage.
Well, I know from a previous conversation that Zach went to Texas State and spent just burned the midnight oil is studying sound recording. Like
He did.
3.5 years. And they politely asked me to leave.
You have to go.
Well,
But so how do you
they
learn?
be
How
sad they
do
did
you
that
learn
now?
the answers, like to be somebody that says, okay, if we move this person over here, this is going to have this effect or whatnot? That seems like art science altogether. How does that work?
It has to do with a mic placement, the type of mics that you're using, things like that. In the old days, when they, at least let's say like the Wrecking Crew days and of all those hits they made in LA, these are these gigantic rooms that they're positioning players around and didn't have the opportunity to, that there's only a limited amount of tracks and limited amount of microphones that you can use. So you have to put what's needed up front, vocals, obviously, and stuff like that. And then you sort of, and they play to each other at a certain volume and dynamic level that everything is heard. We don't do that anymore. I wish we did. It's a neat way to do it because then you capture, the great thing about capturing a live band is that it's live and it has energy and it has this charisma about it. Whereas multi-tracking, you can still get good energy and things like that, but it takes a lot longer. There's maybe some compilations or Frankensteining of certain tracks that we put together certain things to make it sound like a hit. But when it comes to acoustic instruments, it does. You have to position them in the right place in the room in order for things to be heard and for phase cancellation and all kinds of technical stuff. So.
Man, it sounds complicated.
So, Randy, what got you interested in? I mean, to be someone who throws some cash behind this, what got you interested in helping with the studio?
Well, I was already giving Matt a mortgage for teaching guitar to my son. So, but
well worth the money.
Yeah.
Well worth the money.
and then he conned me into working in the summer heat, cutting trees down and building more to the studio. But in all honesty, he's a good friend, and we hit it off. I was new to New Braunfels. I'm sorry, but we hit it off. He did a lot for my son, and I was like, you know what? I can help you out, man. I know I can. I've got a lot of experience planning. It's what the government taught me how to do for 22 years. I did it for foreign countries. I definitely can do it for your Beagles Nest studio. And quite frankly, I haven't spent a dime.
Right.
It was, the partnership was so unique and quite frankly demanding upon me that he was just like, no, this has to happen. And we did it. And we immediately had gains. I took the experiences that I had with my son recording his first record at a different studio as well as with these guys. And we took it and we just kind of mirrored that on what I knew somebody like me would want. And so it's the security that these guys give. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm
sorry.
No, I
That's
love
awesome.
it.
It kills me every time.
Right.
So it is because my kids are precious, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But when these gentlemen, they took my son under their wing, didn't ask them to, they just did, and so that immediately I was sold. I knew they would be good business partners. We argue, no doubt. I can tell you a good story about me throwing the freaking board outside and them coming back being very upset with me. But at the end of the day, we've created something that's very special. Not only just aesthetically, but personal.
Yeah.
For everybody who comes in there. Whether they're an 85-year-old man who is
You
writing.
mentioned that a couple times.
Dude.
Really? Is that
Rick Alvarez is his name.
Yeah.
And he came in.
Vietnam
he's a
vet.
Vietnam vet. He was like, I'm 85. And we're like, dude, you look like 60. And he just flat out blew us away and recorded this stuff for his 60-plus year wife. And
Wow.
Who literally passed away like a couple days later. And we were just like, this is insane. And so these guys, as well as, being a part of it, we get to touch a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that part's been fun. And for me on the business side, I've kind of enjoyed the fact that we're able to keep things numbers wise, we're able to keep things literally half the price everybody else. Right. And I believe strongly in that, especially this day and age with AI and this, that, and the other. You got to keep your prices fair and legitimate, but we have that ability because we don't have like the monthly rent or the overhead. You know, we have a great studio, and we just build on the equipment every day. It's getting better and better.
That was going to be one of my questions. How often do y'all go to Robin and Marcy and go, oh, there's this great new little, because I know people with their, you know, they get their toys, their electronic toys.
Zero, and that's what's been incredible about the business, the model. Like, we literally have gone to our bank accounts 0 times.
Yeah.
Our wives love Randy for that.
I bet.
We no longer have to.
Bet.
The wives no longer have to hear it. Now Randy has to hear it.
So it was really interesting to me because what Randy was just talking about drove home to me something. You know, you talk about the music, you talk about the finance, you talk about the great building, but people are coming to you with dreams, right? And so how do you balance giving them the dream and reality sometimes?
With the knowledge of what not to do.
Okay, all right.
You know, it's
talk about that a little bit.
Well, we've been there, done that. You know, and it's 30 years of playing live and recording. You know, that we have a lot of stories that we can sort of maybe save some grief down the road for especially for the young artists that are emerging. And you know, we hopefully can give them what they hear in their head before they come in. And if we can accomplish something close to that, then or if that expectation is far exceeded by the end product, then we've definitely done our job. You know, it is 100% every time. It's a collaboration. It's not like, hey, here's a song, now make me the song. You know, here's the lyrics, and no, it is we want to know, is this what you're thinking? Is this what you like or don't like, and things like that. And so we have a focal point at the beginning of the project, and then hopefully we've reached that at the end of it.
So what is the process? So someone comes to you, and whether they're a seasoned musician or a newer musician, what's the process, and what does the timeline look like? You know, how do you start with them, and then how long does it take to, you know, complete a recording?
That's Randy's soul pitch.
Well, yeah, I guess. So one of the things that these guys do really well is we do a thing called pre-production. And most of the time what it is it's the client with Zack. And it's usually about an hour to 3 hours, and they're just really going through the song, mapping out the song, actually putting some effort into it. It's a great idea. I love your demo. Let's really dig into it. He gets them on key. He changes a couple things here and there just because, you know, he's a brainiac in that world. And then the client, usually, whether the client's a 15-year-old or an 85-year-old, we always just make it right in their face. You're in charge. These guys right here have 30 years plus experience between the two, actually 60 years plus experience between the two of them. And what they do is they put their thick skin on as a, you know, professional musician and listen to this novice. And this is what they want. And so they then take all that knowledge, they go out into the studio, and we make that person actually cut a scratch track, which is basically either a guitar or piano singing to it with that click that they've come up with. And then they just start, like Matt said earlier, they start breaking down the song, drums, bass, you know, hey, do you want Dustin Schaefer from Shane Smith and the Saints to come play guitar on your song? Maybe we could do that. If not, Briggs will do it. You know, so it's one of those things that they just build upon. And then at the end of the day, it's as simple as we can make it. We send it off usually, actually 98% of the time, it goes to Pat Mansky, who's a Grammy-nominated mix and master man, and he lives in Dripping Springs, and he's the one who mix and masters all of our products. So you pay, this is the one thing we don't skimp on, because if you really want a good song, it needs to be mixed and mastered like it's going to the radio. And so we have a lot of clients that are hesitant at first with that, But then when they get the product back, because God bless Zach, he's really good at mixing it. But when it comes back from Pat, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so that's the process in a nutshell.
So, kind of, what's your goal? Do you work primarily with new talent, or are you trying to get established? Like you mentioned, Wade Bowen cut a track at your studio. Kind of, what's your goal for the studio?
To be successful.
Right. Yeah.
To be here in 5 or 10 years.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
it's,
to me, I see a synergy. It's like,
Right.
okay, so if Wade does it, right, that encourages a lot more.
yeah, that's really how you, if you want a studio to take off, there either has to be a hit recorded there, or somebody big's got to record there
Right.
and say, yeah, this is I want to record that person, or where that was recorded. Obviously, we're working with a lot of young talent that are just starting their careers. So we just hope that something that we
Magic.
touch
Yeah.
goes on and
Right.
and is appreciated.
So you guys have 60 plus years being performing
Between the two of you,
musicians.
they're not that old.
Right. So
Thank you.
Like,
You're welcome.
They started,
often-
they started when they were 10.
Not
Right.
that it's a bad thing being 60-ish.
right. How often do you actually perk up and say, "Ooh, that's something
That's
special"?
special.
You know it when it happens, for sure.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen that often,
Right.
but there are times where we're blown away, you know, by either, you know, a vocal performance or the lyrics or you know, all of the above. But it is something that's rare, but you do understand that when it does, it's something that you know could have a possibility of succeeding.
Okay, so you have a band yourself, obviously the Zack Walther band. So when y'all record, do you bring someone else in to mix, or do y'all try to play both sides of the
Yeah, there's always
process?
we encourage. It is a industry standard that if you're making a record, that you always get a fresh pair of ears
Right.
on a mix. And there's mixing engineers that's what
Right.
they do. And so with Pat Mansky, he's it's very, very easy now. We used to have to hand deliver the hard drive or the tapes. Now it's like you just upload it to the internet
Right.
and he gets
Right.
it. And but it is to us, we believe that it's a huge, important part of the process to have a fresh pair of ears to mix it, because we become so immersed in it and too close to it that
Right.
we've heard it a million times. It needs to be heard for the first time by somebody else.
Real quick,
Yeah.
one of the best things that we've experienced, I thought, as just watching it unfold, was almost like a failure that turned successful. And that was the young lady, Chloe Ray. She put out a song, the Boots song. Anyways,
The boot song.
so
Made for walking?
it was, but they had it nailed down. The song was great, but there was just something off with the vocals. And so we were just like, well, how do we fix this? What do we need to do? And then she lived up here in Fort Worth area or Dallas or something. And she was like, well, I've got this hit coach and they do a studio and I can go sing there. And we're like, that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Like, let's get you somewhere comfortable where you can do that. And that's kind of the beauty of being able to collaborate with other studios. Because, like, by no means are we trying to just, like, alienate our competitors, if you will. We're all in the same foxhole. We want to help each other out. And so that, failure, if you will, of us pulling that vocal out of her at our place, was a total success because, I think that's climbing the charts here in Texas. And it was done at 2 different studios. And Pat, and then we just sent that final vocal to Pat, and Pat mixed it in, and it came out fantastic. So.
It's just amazing to me that how technology has changed for the better. That's an example.
But it's still it literally is still about the person
Right.
and being comfortable
Right.
where you're at. So
right.
Right, completely off track. You keep saying Pat Mansky. Is he related to the Mansky rolls in San
San
Marcos?
Marcos?
I wish. I've never asked him that. We worked with so Ray White Hubbard
Mm-hmm.
recorded his big record Snake Farm. That,
Ooh.
And so when we were making records, he was hosting Roots and Branches on KMT, and would always talk about the Zone, which is where Pat Mansky works, and how great it was. And it's very small, but it's out in the middle of nowhere. And so we started doing records out there, mixing records out there, and then Matt's recorded a bunch of times out there, apart from me and that sort of thing. So it was due to Ray's sort of recommendation that we found him, and he's sort of the silent partner in all of this, because he's kind of our sort of secret weapon that has. So you mentioned Sound City, that
Right.
that there Pat has in one of these really amazing board consoles. It's Neve is the name of it, which were made in Dripping Springs. And it's the same board that was in that studio and things like that. So having the capability to take what we do and then run it through all this really great gear, and then he just has a great ability to put things where they're supposed to go.
Right.
Yeah.
You can have a super fast car,
Yeah.
but you got to have a driver for it too, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And you asked us about our goal earlier, and he kind of mentioned it. I asked these gentlemen, like, what it is about a studio. Why'd you go to? Where'd you record? And really, that's our goal. Is we want whoever is the next big thing that's mentoring folks like Ray Wiley Hubbard to actually go, well, shoot, you need to go to Beagles Nest and check them out.
Yeah.
Because it's all word of mouth in this industry.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And who you trust.
So another documentary I watched was about the Muscle Shoals
Yes.
group, right?
So great.
Fame. Yeah.
And it's great watching what they did back then, and it was the room sound. They're all in the room together, and these huge people came to record there, but they'd be there for a week, right, or 2 weeks or whatever.
Right.
It doesn't sound like people get that experience anymore. I mean,
You're not
Well,
sleeping on the
okay.
couch in
Right.
between.
Muscle Shoals, Sound City, all of these, even and Motown, all that kind of stuff. The reason they were special, yes, it's several things, but it's the studio building, the room that you're doing it, the microphones. It's also the band. The band at Muscle Shoals was the Smallbirds,
right.
and they was 4 guys that played on all those records. Same with the Wrecking Crew out in LA. They played on all those records. And that's kind of what my personal goal for the studio is that Matt and I play on everything.
Okay, we got to come up with a name for you
Yeah.
guys. It's like we had the Swappers, we had the
The
Wrecking Crew.
Dingleberries.
The Dingleberries, I love
It's
it.
been a naming day. We're trying to name Sunny
Okay,
Sosada's
all right.
new accordion,
no.
and now we need to name your
Right.
studio
It's like-
name.
yes,
The
it's like-
Dingleberries?
No, that was,
Okay, not the
that was
Dingleberries.
a bad joke.
Right. We got to come up
Please
with.
don't let that stick.
I kind of like it.
No, we got to come up with a cool name for the house band at Beagles Nest. We're gonna work on that. Yeah. That is
Yeah, one of the
awesome.
funny things is whenever we just got a bunch of mixes back from Pat for a couple clients, and always the quote from Matt is in the text chain is, "Man, the band is amazing."
They're so good.
That band is great.
Yeah. All right. So when Zach was talking, he mentioned, okay, you'll do this, you'll do that. How many instruments will you play on a record? Right?
There's 2 instruments that Zach won't let me play.
Okay. Which are?
Violin.
Okay.
He won't let me touch it. And saxophone.
Okay.
I
Could you
think I
play the
played-
I
violin?
tried. I was ready.
Okay.
I was signed up.
He played saxophone in the 7th grade.
Right.
I played saxophone in band. I also, the band director asked me not to play at contests once and just hold it in my mouth.
Yeah, I was told that.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Just look like you're marching.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So a
Worked.
little background. We've had a separate conversation with Zach, but what is your musical family, or how did you come to be a multi-instrumentalist?
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day, like, the death of the upright piano. Remember the upright was in the
Yeah.
house?
Oh,
sure.
yes.
And before the radios, the whole family went and sang around that piano.
Yes.
So that's what we did. Growing up, my mom was one of the German families that immigrated to Wharton, Texas, and her dad was one of 16 kids. She was one of 7 or 8 kids.
Wow.
And these big families would just do family and they would sing, and they would sing in the church and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I fell in love with just kind of being in a group and playing. I walked into a junior high band tryout, and I was like, I'm here to play drums. And they're like, saxophone. It's like, oh, no, not saxophone. That's not cool. And then my sister, 2 years later as a cheerleader, she's like, I don't care, I don't want to be here. And I'm like, drummer.
Right.
So my sister becomes a drummer, and I sneak into her room all the time to play. Yeah, she didn't care. So I kept playing, drums whenever I could. And one of the cymbal girls broke her wrist in competition my junior year, and they're like, "Who wants to hold cymbals?" And everybody's like, "I don't know how cymbals." I was like, "I'll do it.
It's very fun.
I'll hold the
you,
cymbals."
Matthew.
Right.
No, so I'm out there doing my thing.
And you get to twirl them. Yes, I played the cymbals in the Bug Web in the Baylor University Golden Wave Band.
Oh wow, that's cool.
I know. So what all instruments do you play? Stand-up bass?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's like my favorite.
It's cool. And the one that we have in the studio is we have an orchestra player that teaches and plays in there as well. And his friend's great-grandpa or grandpa was part of the Texas Union Band. That means when someone was touring through Texas, they had to have
Right.
that band play with them. And that's the upright bass from the early 1900s.
Oh, that is cool. That is
It's
very
so cool.
So you play rhythm guitar.
I can play. I would do
You
it
can
all.
play everything except for fiddle. You
No,
won't let him
yeah,
play
Zack
the
Walther
fiddle.
says no fiddle, no saxophone.
Drawing the line. We got to
Drawing
draw the
the line.
line
We have
somewhere.
guys for that. The great thing about New
We
Braunfels,
have we have people that can really play. I'm sorry.
I mean, he's like, let me try. I'm like, it's your time. I'm
got
gonna
this,
go. I'm
man.
gonna go the other way. But
You're not wanting that?
the great thing about being in New Braunfels is we have a lot of musician friends that live in town,
Yeah.
and a lot of touring guys that are doing nothing during the week, and so we have sort of like a Rolodex of these musicians that we can call upon, and like, oh, you're looking for that? Okay, yeah, we've got a guy.
It is just crazy to me.
Or gal.
I mean, we grew up in San Antonio, and it's crazy how New Braunfels has exploded, and it's become such a music scene. I mean, Worst Fest, that's my memory, and so you could always get a good polka band.
Yeah.
But I don't remember going to New Braunfels when I was young.
And now they're doing
music.
concerts at they're starting to do a lot of like benefit concerts and stuff, but off season, which it's
Yeah.
such a beautiful
We
facility.
play with
Right,
we play
right.
with Diamond Rio there,
Yeah.
and Mark Chestnut.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the Worst
yeah.
Fest grounds.
Oh wow. So y'all backed up Mark Chestnut?
Yeah.
Wow, look at you.
Did you?
But I mean, it's not Zack Walther band for
No,
sure.
right.
No big deal.
That-
But no big deal.
Well, this is fascinating.
Yeah.
And so, how long have you been in this location?
2 years now. Right?
2 years.
2.5, 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you own it, or is it leased, or what's?
We own it.
All right. That's
That's why
great.
you said
yes.
there's no rent.
And you're right.
Well, there's rent, but
Well, I
But,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
But with the what I'm sure real estate values are doing there.
Yeah.
I keep talking about documentaries, but the one on the Saxon Pub, they were actually talking to the guy that owns the Continental Club, and he says the only reason I can still be here is because I own it, because everything else is so expensive.
Yeah.
So good for
We're
you.
fortunate that Matt got into this before the big explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In New Braunfels.
And that his wife's got a credit card. That's
Thank
He's
you,
got
Robin.
credit.
Thank you, Robin. Thanks, Robin.
way to go.
You should all be
Thank you,
very
Robin.
grateful
Thank you,
to
Robin.
Robin. Does she get a credit on the albums?
She walks around like she owns that thing. I mean,
I'm a lawyer, and I'm going to tell you that she actually does
Okay.
own part of it. So.
Yes.
And Robin said, "Thank you, Steve."
Exactly.
So, what is the best part for you for producing records? It's a broad question. I know.
I got that answer
Okay.
for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Randy.
For producing records, it's always, and like I said, I've only been doing this for maybe 3 years tops with my son, and then with these guys for a year and a half. So as I've gotten to know the business and know what sound is, I'm still learning a lot. And but it's always fun to watch these two bicker. And because really, I mean, quite frankly, if you get Zack, it's really good. If you get Matt, it's really good. But when you have the two of them working together, it's really, really good. And so the production is outstanding and professional. But it's always fun to come in because I walk away, they work with somebody, and I'm kind of that fresh ear, and it's been actually refreshing to hear Zack, because Zack and Matt are really the musicians,
Right.
but they ask me what my opinion is, and so I've gotten to the point where I can watch the screen, watch the thing go across, and pay attention to the song enough to where I can go, I like everything but that, and then they're like, oh. And so that's been fun for me.
How dare you?
Yeah, they're like,
That was my favorite
once
part.
I leave, they're like, dude, we got to go back and do that again. So, but at the end of the day, it's always fun to watch that process happen and see how it goes from literally an idea to something that you can sling on the radio.
So how do you balance? So this has got to be, especially as more people learn about Beagles Nest and want to come record there, how do you balance being on that production side and also creating your own music?
It's very hard.
We talk about that a lot. Yeah.
We basically, we're multifaceted musicians. I mean, we all have different things that we do. Aside from playing music live, and it's just we have to, but we've done it long enough together that we sort of know where I know his strengths, he knows mine, and vice versa, and so it's a really good balance, a really good marriage of.
You guys have been
two best
together
friends
for
Right.
how long?
I keep thinking of
Second
Lenny
grade.
and
Yeah, second
Swiggy
grade.
from.
Second grade?
We finish each other's sandwiches.
I like
right?
that.
Yes, no, but they were on the same wavelength.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, okay, so what makes a great band, we've been having this conversation because of, as he's sort of mentoring Taz's band and stuff, but there's a special moment on stage that happens when non-verbally there is communication, and the song takes a turn, and everybody does it together without any, it's just a magical thing that happens. When that happens, there is a love language that everybody shares, and so we have that, with anything in our lives because we've known each other for so long.
I just get so jealous when I hear musicians because, you have this vision of, you see them on stage or you see them, wherever, but I haven't talked to a musician yet that hasn't said, I get to do what I love.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people like, I love music, but I'm never going to be able to do that. So I'm just going to put that out in the universe.
Never say never.
I'm 64.
There's always
I'm
That
like,
85-year-old
Yeah,
just
you're
got
young.
the record.
That
Right?
is true.
You just need a little more seasoning.
Yeah.
That's,
I have a lot. I'm pretty spicy.
yeah.
I mean,
okay.
we've had clients coming through the studio who can't play or sing or anything. But they want us to do.
Do you
and
do
for
any
their
spoken
song-
word stuff?
We've actually done a novel before.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
A guy wrote
Well,
this
it was
book.
a novel for AI. This is what's weird.
Oh.
You don't have to read the whole thing. The AI just needs 2 hours of your voice
Of your
Oh,
voice,
no.
and then
to know how you say
Right.
things, and then it'll
No.
just do it for you.
There's this. Yeah, I'm struggling. I'm obviously older. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be great things with AI, but I struggle with it. But I just want.
it's more of our kids' problem than ours,
Right.
though,
I
so,
just,
yeah.
I think there's so much, as we've talked about, to the creative process of putting together a song. And again, you don't realize that until you sit down. And we've talked about this numerous times. We grew up, we couldn't wait. We knew when an album was going to be released. You would wait in line to go get that album.
Yeah.
And then you'd run home and you'd sit on your bed and you would have the words and you would sing your heart out to it and listen from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And I just want that experience.
If you
for
want
our
that
kids.
experience for your kids, go to Two Tons Tuesday.
All right.
They'll wait in line for an hour and a half to 2 hours.
I don't necessarily have to wait in line anymore, but
That's it.
But you're over 21, so
Right,
you go
yeah.
in the adult line.
Yeah.
Yes,
and there's
yeah.
just something about that experience. And I love that you talked about you still put together the whole album.
Yeah,
and
the anticipation of it is part of it, and now it's just like, oh, it's out, or here's
Right.
a single.
Right.
Right. Well, like the Morgan Wallen thing, where he released 10 of the 12 songs before they released the album. It's like hard. Never understand that, but
But I mean,
nobody
it's
buys
not to
records
say. I mean,
anymore.
the younger
There you
kids,
go.
they just don't. They don't have the
So-
patience.
It was
to
all
wait
given
for
to him for free.
Right.
it. Yes.
By Napster.
Yes. Well, that's a whole nother conversation, right?
all right. So, all right. So, what do you have coming up that you're excited about? I mean, how far out do people book? And sort of what? Like, is it hard to get studio time? She wants to get into the studio.
Yeah, now we
so,
have another client.
Right.
I just want to come watch.
We have a good friend of ours named Scott Malott, and he was in a band with Susan Gibson. He wrote Wide Open Spaces for the Dixie
Yes.
Chicks,
Right.
and we met him, did a record with him, and he's kind of gotten into gospel lately, and he's got this whole project that he's got going. He's really excited about. And I think he's going to be coming in next month, and we're just excited about getting him and watching these guys play. What they've been working so hard on. It's like one of those band things. Like I said, I love tracking, and I said, "Do you need anything?" He's like, "Oh, we're good." And I was like, "A triangle player? I can do anything." What you need?
Anything? Anything?
All right, I'll just bring you coffee.
Right.
Wait,
Or
wait.
bell, cowbell.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that doesn't really go with gospel.
But to answer your question about like the timing and how long it takes, it's just quite frankly because these guys are touring artists and they have other jobs.
Right.
And then we do have another engineer as well that can help out. But usually, there's only so many days out of the week that we set aside a time to record.
Right.
So it actually does become kind of a supply and demand issue. But at the end of the day, you call us, we'll get you booked out. We haven't had anybody that we had a couple people at one point because we were pretty packed out going into the Christmas season where it was like, dude, we can't talk to you till February.
Right.
So,
right.
but we get to them and we start jamming and the experience that they get is really quite something because every single one, they all, and I'm not bad mouthing anybody,
Right.
but they all come to us with the same experience that I had when I came to Matt and Zach was, it just we didn't get what we really, really wanted. We got what the producer wanted.
Right.
We got what those musicians wanted, but they didn't leave with that. They were happy with it, but they weren't satisfied.
Right.
And so, and I'm not kidding, we are 100% every time, no matter what age you are, they all leave with, man, that experience was amazing.
All right, so I got a question. When they say they're satisfied, right? Their call, they say they're satisfied, and there's something a little bit more. Do you push them, or
Oh yeah,
So
to
the
a fault
client's not
sometimes.
always right here.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's don't fix what ain't broke, but it is there are times that I do hold my tongue. I don't know about Matt, in these scenarios, but it has a tendency to work itself out without having to
Right.
state the obvious sometimes.
Well, I think it's different with creatives too. I think it's different with musicians. I don't think there's many. I mean, I'm sure there are some, but I think most musicians come in and they want to collaborate and they want to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are there are people who get in a mindset that I know best, but I don't know. I just
one of
you
the
like to make music.
I think this is as an observation. One of the funniest things I always see, and they both do it, and I've seen it from other people as well, is the statement, "Man, that's perfect. Do it again, just like that."
Yeah.
And it's like because
You
it's not
can't.
quite there.
Yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
quite there. It was really good, but
Yeah.
we don't want to hurt your feelings. But it was
Right.
perfect. Do it again, and so then you just ultimately pull the best out of them.
Well,
and
I
and
guess
I'll-
a great director, a film director says, "Oh, that's a good cut. Why
Yeah.
don't we try this?"
Right.
Yeah.
So we had this one client which they loved because he was very in your face, but he sang this song and it was about his daughter. And I came in, he was working with our other engineer late at night, and so I came in just to check on the project. And I heard the song and I go, and he's like, "Yeah, we're done." And I was like, "Eric, no." I go, I met your daughter. And I have a child. There's no way that's your song. And he was like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" And I go, "There's not anywhere near the emotion that you can put forward." And he's a big monster dude. I had that dude in tears. And he sang the most beautiful song. It was awesome. But then he left because his daughter came in and he had to go outside and wash the pants. But
Yeah,
he
you
was
can't
like,
show
I
her,
never
right?
could have done that in front of my daughter. And he just thanked me for pulling that out of them. And I think that's what these guys do. I just have, every once in a while, I get to do it. So it's pretty fun.
What a fun project. And I mean, what a great name. And it's even better knowing your story, quite frankly.
Oh, thank you.
I love the fact that it's, you know, we're building this nest and we're building a family. And so that's got to make people, it's everything you're saying, Randy, that want to come to you because it's not just something they're going to make money with. It's an experience that they're going to take away.
Yeah. And if it will be complete when the house band has a name.
Oh,
We're going to work on
That's the
this.
only thing that I'm missing here. So we're going to have to come up. Yeah, you're right. Dingleberries doesn't quite get there.
No, it needs to, we're going to.
It's already taken.
Yeah.
Fleas and ticks.
I'll say that you know, there was a question earlier, and this is something I wanted to just add to. Is like Matt and I have been doing this for a long time, but it took. We just didn't know that we needed a manager. We needed a studio manager to sort of make this a reality. Everything from the vibe of and the aesthetics of the studio to you know, everything that we are recording on and stuff like that is a result of the hard work of this trio. But it really was the introduction of Randy to this partnership and that kind of turned things around for us. And it's been a great ride so far, and can't wait to see what happens the rest of this year.
Yes, well, I can't wait to see who all comes out of Beagles Nest.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all for doing what y'all do so that we
thank
get
you.
the word out.
Well,
No, we will push it as hard as we can because if you've heard us enough now that Texas music is very special, and you know, we're a huge state, and we have the ability to have, like, I don't think there is Rhode Island music, you know, but there is an identity to it, and it coincides with what we do, and so we're very proud of that. And anything that can push that, I think, is what we're trying to do. So,
and the other thing I love about the Texas music scene is it is a diverse scene.
Yes.
I mean, you talk about gospel,
Yeah.
you know, you talk about Tejano, you talk about German polka. I mean, what's the polka band that is
Brave Combo.
Brave Combo. I don't know if I've ever heard that. I mean, there's just so much diversity to. It's not just one particular style. And then, you know, I mean, Red Dirt. I mean, it's born here, and it's just great. You know, so there's nothing better than Texas music.
there isn't.
So that brings us to, I mean, we're talking about the recording scene, and of course we want to be able to get our music anytime, but you've got to get out there and go to live shows. Nothing will, if you're in a bad mood, then find some live music, because you just cannot leave at the end of a night with live music and be in a bad mood.
And ask us all, go to a Zack Walther show.
Right.
Yeah.
And ask Zack Walther, put a $20 in his tip jar, and say, play a Tasman Sharp song.
Yes, but
No, I'm going to put $100 in a tip jar and a fiddle on the stage, and I want.
I got this.
I want
And then ask for that money back.
we're going to look at Zack and go, you know. That's great.
Yes.
All right, lightning round. Are we doing a lightning round? For three
Real
of us?
quick,
Okay.
right?
Real quick. I am tired. I don't know if I can think of a lightning round. Can you think of a good question?
All right, so
Can I get, I'll do it to you.
okay, all right.
Whoa!
go,
Turn
yes.
the table.
Favorite cartoon?
Oh, Roadrunner.
Jetsons.
Ooh, I like the Jetsons.
I like Roadrunner.
Roadrunner.
Was Roadrunner a cartoon?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I thought it was.
The Roadrunner and the
Tunes.
Coyote.
The
maybe?
Coyote.
Oh, yeah, that
Acting,
was the Roadrunner. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Roadrunner's always getting the Coyote. It's so great.
Zach,
Right.
do you have a question for him, Zach?
Favorite car.
Oh, easy.
That's easy.
Mustang.
Mustang
Yeah.
convertible.
First car, 67 Mustang.
Oh, nice.
That's
Yeah.
our first date. Well, actually, our first date was not in that car because there's too many people on the date. But the second date was. Story for later.
Yeah.
All right.
And we drove all over Texas in a little red Mustang
Yeah.
convertible.
Oh, wow. That's
Stella.
cool. Yeah.
We name everything.
Aw.
I know. She's cute.
All right, come on, hit me.
Cool. Favorite band?
Oh, no.
That's, I know. because
The E Street Band.
E Street.
Yeah.
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 Come on. Lightning.
I'm probably going to say Lyle Levitt and
Oh,
his big
yeah.
band.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
And the
Large
Zack
band.
Walther band.
And the Zack Walther
Large
band.
band.
Yeah, there you go.
And I always mess up the details, so just so you know.
yeah.
That's why I have to be the backup musician. I can never be the lead singer.
Well, if you have enough people on stage, nobody will know you've messed up.
Right?
So.
I
Good,
miss-
good strategy.
All right.
Well, so Beagles Nest Records, like that's an actual album, right? That's a record album.
it's record.
Looks like it.
Yes.
Good logo. I like it.
Yes.
I love the dog in the nest wagging his tail. It's so cute.
So Beagles Nest Records in New Braunfels, Texas, right downtown, right? It's stick your head in when you're in.
So New Braunfels is unique. Main Street is not downtown
Oh, okay.
because it's a very old. It's
It's
what was
the
called
other side
Clemowtown.
of the highway from what people think
So
of
the
as
main
downtown.
the main thoroughfare that goes through downtown is San Antonio Street.
San Antonio
and
Street.
it's on San Antonio Street.
Okay, very
all right,
good.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to come.
And there's all sorts of activity around on San Antonio Street.
Oh,
That's, I mean, so that would be a fun place to spend a little time recording.
We have clients that come stay with us, stay at the studio
Mm-hmm.
while they're recording and stuff, and they'll just go out and see live music while they're there and stuff. So it's within walking distance for sure.
Yeah,
so.
it's so great.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you guys, if you are a musician and you're looking for a great place to record, call these guys at Beagles Nest and follow. Do you have any socials or anything for Beagles Nest or information?
Yeah, just Beagles
website?
Nest Records.
Yeah, there's probably not a lot of
Social,
fighting over Beagles Nest. I think that's you've got that to your own.
Yeah.
And follow us on our socials. Follow, like, share, Texas 10, and
Right? Word of mouth. Tell a friend about Texas 10 because this is the place you get the greatest content about the greatest state.
You, and I love this land. Oh, it takes my breath away. From the Palo Duro to the Gulf Coast plain. From the heart of the hill country to the piney wood shade. I love this land. It takes my breath away.